should be good to go on YouTube. All right, there we go. The video quick. We got to do this and go like that, and then go like this. Okay. Save 78.6K. Change. All right, then we're gonna go to 339 and go 78.6. Today is the 26th, and save it. All right, guys. Good to be on. Good to be in. Hopefully, you guys please like and subscribe to the channel. Hopefully, you guys have been studying hard, been trading hard. You know, trying to do the best you can, getting the edge on your side. If you don't have an edge on your side, then ask yourself, why are you even trading? You should be focusing on creating that edge, because you might as well go to the casino if you don't have an edge. There's no real reason to even, you know, it's hard to trade when you don't have an edge. Losing half my net worth helped me create that edge, but it wasn't fun doing so. It's not my wish for you guys to do that. My wish is for you guys to kind of just start grinding your account slower and slower into figuring out, you know, what is consistency and what is an edge. What does the edge for you look like? I'm live going over today's trading day up 70. Alright, I'm going to go to my phone quick and just set this up really quick. Hopefully you guys had a great trading day. I know I say that a lot, but I really do mean that. I want you guys to become successful and become consistent. And that in doing so, it's going to take a lot of hard work and a lot of time and a lot of effort. But it comes down to how bad do you want it. Alright, post this here. MPIS, Playboy. What's another one today? All right, cool, guys. There's that. Now let me go live on TikTok. Let me make sure it's posted quick. Okay, now on Twitter. All right, let's go live on TikTok. Okay. There's that. Now we're live on TikTok as well. Bring this over. Okay, guys. Hopefully you guys had a great trading day out there. Hopefully you guys please like and subscribe to the channel. Click the icon below if I make new videos. I would really appreciate that, guys. We're going to kind of bring this chart over here to kind of explain today's trading day. Go like this. And then go like this. Okay. All right, guys. So again, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the trading day. Hopefully you guys have been trading well. But we're just live here at NAKD.com. And we're going to go over today's trading day here in a second. Green Day, yep. Francisco, nice. Nathan, yeah, MVIS has been awesome. Ben, Juan, Anna, Cody, King, Ludi, Ben, Yossi, Dynasty, Smack, G, F, David, Brett, long time. Primitive Beats, Dan. What's going on, guys? Good to have you guys on. Blake, Elmer. Alright, guys, so I kind of just want to go over to this trading day. So what's going on, No Thumbs? So MVIS, guys, my first trade of the day was a nice little short out of the gates. Great thing I covered, obviously. But I saw this extension and ended up shorting it at basically the 22 area, $22 range, and covered the wash perfectly. So basically, yeah, so I started shorting up in here, basically, and had an average of $22 a share, and I covered it like right on this candle right here. Now, why did I short it, you might ask? Well, we have 4 or 5 great extension candles here with massive amount of volume and right out of the gates. And usually right out of the gates, when you see this type of move, there's always a nice pullback on a lot of volume. If you go back and look at the yearly, right, this thing in 1, 2, 3, 4 days has gone from basically, its lows back in, about a month ago, all the way up to the highs, which was 2 months ago. In a matter of 4 or 5 days. We haven't seen a move like this really on this chart ever. This is the closest to it, but you see these huge extension candles here. We haven't seen anything like that. So I'm basically saying, you know what? Right in here, there's a lot of resistance at the 24 and the 22 and and especially right in here at the $20 range, $21 range, right? You can see a lot of previous volume churning in there. A lot of buyers, a lot of sellers in here deciding whether to buy it or sell it. And in that time, when I see volume in this with a lot of different days churning here, deciding where to go, it then becomes support and resistance. It can. That's the way I trade. So I knew that, this extension out of the gates, I was kind of shocked. I was like, wow, this thing's still going. And to see this thing perk up all the way up to 22 and all that resistance and that quickly, guys, the bigger the extension, meaning the more percentage gain, the faster period of time. And then, if I see 2 or 3 or 4 green days in a row, I start to build a short bias, right? Especially depending on how much it goes up, how quickly, and how much resistance was in the past. And so all those things with the extension of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green candles in a row, with all that resistance, with the extension and how fast it moved up and the volume that it took to move up, I built a short bias. And I literally shorted, and I was in the red a little bit, but overall we nailed that first trade out of the gates. And a 21.44 average cover, so right on this wick right here was where I covered. And I made $28,675 on that first trade. CCIV tried to take a long. Obviously, that would have been nice if I would have held it because CCIV ended up running to 24. There's a lot of news and a lot of development on if this company is going to be working with Apple, and if that's the case, then man, that's it. It's even better of a company. I've always liked CCIV, but if they work with the Apple, that would be even that much more crazy. Yeah, I know, Zach Morris. Show you a live portfolio. It's on YouTube right now. Go to Cam the Man YouTube, Cam the Man YouTube. Okay. So luckily I covered that. Thing extended right back up 23. MVIS, I took another short at 22.98. So let's go back to MVIS. So basically, I started to short it up in here again, and then obviously I covered it on the wash down in here. I believe that's right, at least. And then another $7,000 winner. OCGN, just a tiny little winner on it. Just a scalp, really. I mean, I saw it consolidating. Every time it sold off, kept perking, and I just scalped it right in here. Luckily, I just scalped it, or else I could have gotten crushed. VIC, small loss. GameStop, I nailed this trade. Wow. Was there news on this? Hold on. GameStop. Sold 3.5 million. Net proceeds of $551 million. Wow. Good for GameStop, man. Anyways, so they had a nice pop on that news. But basically, I started to watch this one when I saw, I've always been kind of watching this one in the back of my radar, always watching. Well, seeing this perk was great, but then seeing this, extension through these highs was confirmation. Then we ripped again, and I was like, okay, I'm going to wait for any dip I can get that's solid entry that gives me a solid opportunity, that's a clear risk off, and it's a nice sell-off that I can slowly scale myself into. And I literally started, you can see my average on this was 163.19, which is right there on that white line. But I took most of my size right in here. I started to take a little bit in here, but then I wanted one more sell-off, and I took most of my size right in here. I added one more piece, like right on this dip here, seeing the consolidation and not seeing a huge sell-off, and started to take it off over 170, and we ran all the way to 175 on the day, or 174. So $27,000 winner there. That was a nice. So I just took very, very low risk trades, guys. I take very, very low risk trades, meaning, I saw the sell-off and then another sell-off, and then we kind of consolidated and another sell-off. So basically was looking for, here's my first sell-off, my second sell-off, and then my third sell-off. When I get 3 sell-offs in a chunk there, those are 1 minute candles within 5-10 minutes. That's first sell-off, the second sell-off, and then the third sell-off. The third sell-off, if I'm looking for a bullish position, I will almost always at least take a starter on the third sell-off. The third sell-off could be also, my sizing up position. I would say probably 70% of the time, the third sell-off is my sizing up position. Probably 30% of the time it's my starter position, depending on how bullish I am with it. And with this one, it was in between. It was between a starter and, full size. So just because, we're a little slower, and I don't know, I just didn't want to take any chances on it. And then MPIS, guys, took a nice little long. You can see I nailed the long on MPIS. Wish I would have held it, obviously. All hindsight 2020, but 25.75. So basically just waiting for this thing to come on down. Just giving it a chance to breathe, but yet sell off and give me some dip buys. And, I started to take some right in here, and then I took some, a little bit in here. And then I took a little bit in here. Wish I would have taken more, because that was a solid sell-off with the market coming down. I think it stopped a lot of people out. And then this thing just churned in the close. And I ended up taking it off up there at $26.69. So almost $1 a share there on 13,000 shares. That was a nice little bullish trade there for me. And then I took a little short after hours MPIS, 29.17. So that was like right there where that white line is. And then I covered it up. Obviously, way too soon. We're down underneath 28. Could have been a lot bigger of a winner, but I don't want to give anything back. And that's basically my day, guys. I don't want to take too much time out of today, but a green day. We've been on a streak ever since that 7-figure loss. I'm just trying to get my bearings back, just trying to get my momentum back, just trying to take smart trades and not make the same mistake that I did, and that's kind of what was my goal, so I'm pretty happy about that. One thing I did want to mention, guys, is I ended up making a 7-figure trade finally. Now, I want to explain this. GSX has absolutely hurt me. It was this name was not easy. And, guys, this opportunity is extremely rare as well. And this opportunity, I almost didn't have really a whole lot of data on, okay? And so I had been swinging this one. I had a $25 average in the inherited IRA. But I took a lot of paper cuts on the way down on this name, to a point where I could probably almost say I might have lost, over the span of it kind of just always selling off, maybe $500,000 or $600,000 on that name, between all accounts, between my challenge account, between my long term, between the inherited. It was not easy. This name is not easy. I mean, it has a huge sell-off, and then another sell-off, and then it comes back up, and you think it's good, and then another sell-off, and you're like, okay, what's going on? And then it breaks new lows, and you're just like, geez Louise, like, is this thing just going to go to zero or what? And so, anyways, I ended up with a $25 average in the inherited IRA with a good amount of size, and I ended up making well over $1 million on that trade. So it was nice to kind of at least finally get a lot of that back. But man, this name was an absolute headache. I will honestly say this could have been one of the biggest headaches of my career, was trying to make, I got kind of stubborn on it. I was like, okay, well, if it goes lower, then I want to make sure I take a trade on it, and kept going lower and lower. And then if it ever bounced, I didn't want to ever get FOMO of like fear of missing out, which basically I've been watching it the past 2 or 3 weeks, sitting there and being like, well, now it goes, and then I'm gonna chase it up because I just like I couldn't handle almost my mindset, going into these trades. But anyways, we nailed this trade overall. $25 average, well over a 7-figure win in my inherited IRA, and continue to just try and build that account. That's just a separate account that I practice my my multi-week, multi-month swing trades. And so those of you guys who have been trading GSX or VIAC or DISCA or all those names, just know I'm right there with you. I am right there with you. I went through a lot of downside on GSX, and I know some of you guys did as well, and I know it's not fun to lose. I know it's not fun to sit here and say, well, enough is enough, and maybe I should have done that. But the reality is, if I would have done that, then in the back of my head, I would have been so frustrated today because I lost on all these red candles on the way down, and I made nothing on the way up. And that would have completely hurt me mentally, to a point where I might have been chasing today and then losing on that. So I wanted positioning. I felt comfortable. I took a lot of paper cuts on the way down. I'm going to learn a lot from this trade because I did lose a lot in multiple accounts with this trade and with this opportunity. And I'm just human like you guys are. I don't really know what's going to happen. I have no idea, but all I can do is try and put an edge on my side. And by seeing that big of a sell-off that quick, I know it's going to be volatile. We all know that. We just don't know which way volatile it's going to be. And in my case, I was looking at basically making a bullish case to the upside because, first of all, we sold off from, 90 down to 23. And also, you go back and look, and we're all the way back to 2019. This thing, where it was at in 2019 was where it was at $23. And it sold off from 2019 all the way to 2021. We had a $149 high. And then in that period, in 3 weeks, we gave back basically everything over a year and a half. So that's, number one, how fast it sold off. Number two, how far are we testing the support and how fast did we test that support? The timing and the amount of percentage and the amount of liquidity that goes through is how I kind of gauge what's going on with every stock. How long ago was the training going on over here? If this was back in 2015, I'd feel even better, right? Or when I was buying RCL long term, I was like, wow, we are literally down here. And in here, I was like, wow, we are literally all the way back to 2012. That was a huge opportunity, right? The farther you can go back on a quick snap sell-off like this, generally the better. Delta all the way back to 2013, right? So, you know what, guys? Hopefully you guys traded well. If you're interested, as always, I'm not a financial advisor. Trade at your own risk. Have a plan, a process, and a strategy. Free chat in the link in the description below. If you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. My brokerage that I use is in the link description below. The brokerage that pays you up to 2 free stocks in the link description below. Values $1,400. I wouldn't kid you on that. It's legit. Those of you guys who have been using that know that it's legit. They do pay you free stocks up to $1,400. Doesn't mean they're going to give you that much of an amount. I've been anywhere from $2 to $50 to $10 to I think I know someone who made a 600 or something. So just know there's that opportunity. And then scanner software I use, code CAM15. Scanner software settings I use as well. And that's basically it today, guys. So again, guys, if you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I would really appreciate that. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. It helps the NorMagNoTrading.com community go a long ways, and it means a lot from you guys. So I appreciate every single one of you guys for supporting the NorMagNoTrading.com community. Hopefully you guys learned something today. Continue to study, continue to grind. Cheers, team, and go.